Hello world, this is Minecraft Realms. The goal of this Minecraft series is just to have a large overconnecting world in which we do pretty much everything. Silly challenges, fun events, and of course huge build projects that we do in survival mode. Got really lucky with this world spawn. As you can see, we have a mushroom biome, directly adjacent to an ocean monument. I didn't think I'd ever be lucky enough to find a mushroom biome, much less directly adjacent to spawn. To find one having an ocean monument so close to it that it actually clips into the island was just icing on the cake. If we sail away a little bit, we can find another adjacent ocean monument. I'm not entirely certain which one should be decoration and which one should actually be a farm, but we'll see. If we dig down below, we find a lush cave system, which allows for mob spawning in the mushroom biome. Mobs are quite rare to find in mushroom biomes, other than the mushrooms themselves, so this was actually incredibly fortunate. Down here we can find skeletons, endermen, and zombies. Of course we have axolotls in the waters too. I find this to be quite awesome. And I was lucky enough on day one that one of these mushrooms got struck by lightning. I have no idea when it happened, and I didn't record it, which makes me incredibly furious. If you want to see how I build this base and how I'm getting this realm started, we're dropping into it now. I spawned in on a sandbar. No wood, no land, no dirt of any kind. All I could do was grab a couple of sand blocks. It was a good move. Not sure why, but it was. I was about to reload, but I decided against it because it felt like cheating. I should at least survive one night before giving up. Eventually I started raiding underwater ruins. Wasn't exactly certain what I'd find in them, but it had to be better than nothing. In the first chest I found some coal, some wheat, and armor. The armor's good, it lets me survive a fight. The wheat, however, is very unhelpful because I can't eat it until I find a crafting table, and for that I'll need wood. It was quite the swim, but eventually I did come across land. Of all the land to find, however, it was a mesa biome. I am not a fan of the way the grass looks in this biome. It makes me depressed. I'm also not a fan of the trees. I find their red color to be kind of off and ugly. I can never decide if it's red or orange. Either way, I do chop the wood. I'll need a crafting table and a few other things, so it can't be that bad. A short look around finds me some pumpkins. Pumpkins are great, they make jack-o'-lanterns and I can put lights in the water. Finally I build a crafting table. This grants me access to boats and even food if I decide to craft that wheat. However, I decide against crafting the wheat, as who knows what it might be used for if I don't craft it. I'll craft the wheat into bread if I'm absolutely starving to death. I'm not certain what these blocks will grant me. I guess they're just the only thing I'll have once I go back to the sandbar. Rowing into the night, I eventually skip the sandbar and continue onward. I even loaded a couple of underwater structures for bread. Eventually all this rowing does pay off when I finally see it. A mushroom biome. I'll be honest, I didn't think I'd ever find a mushroom biome playing Minecraft. I just didn't think they actually existed. Over there is a ocean monument. It's actually so close to the mushroom biome you can constantly hear the guardians attacking fish and stuff as you walk along the surface, which I'm perfectly fine with because it means a guardian farm is in my future. Looking around, I noticed there's an actual green tree. I didn't think these spawned on the top of a mushroom biome until I realized it actually wasn't spawning on the mushroom biome, it was spawning under it. This was the opening of a lush cave. Lush caves can mean wood, and wood was good. However, I can't grow them without bone meal, and that is quite the bummer. It means I'll be sacrificing the good wood for redwood for now. I have to put up with this orange wood. It really isn't that bad in the mushroom biome. Somehow it works with the mushrooms. I build this little hut in the hopes of surviving multiple days. However, I find this to be pointless because nothing really spawns in the mushroom biome. I have no idea why I'm building this house. I guess it's just force of habit. really I could just sleep under the scars and be perfectly safe. At least that's what I think. Eventually I start digging dirt. There's all kinds of little pits and holes around this biome and they make me very angry. I would like to fill them all in, that way I can build structures without stuff spawning beneath me. I still haven't fully realized that nothing is going to spawn in this biome. There's also a couple of large pits that lead into the caves down below. They're so big I'm afraid of falling into them, so I'll probably have to cover them up. I was mostly digging here out of curiosity. This rooted dirt is interesting to me. I don't know what it can be used for. But it's as good as any for starting a cave, so why not? After digging up some coal, I find it. The lush cave. Not just a lush cave, a place where mobs can spawn. That's good news for me. At long last, I find iron and my first axolotl. Can't pick him up yet, I don't have a bucket, but I can soon remedy that by sacrificing my iron pick. I forgot to burn up my wooden pick as the first source of fuel. It's kind of a tradition of mine, and I've broken it here, and this is the one time my recording might actually end up on YouTube. That should frustrate me, and it does. Also, this drowned boy popped out of the ocean. Although nothing can spawn on the island, they can spawn in the sea. They can also spawn in the cave and climb up. I'm really going to have to close off those openings. I like to make my cave entrance somewhat nice. I don't know why, it's just a big gaping hole in the ground. But it feels more responsible to put something around it, even if the only victims of the accidental fall are me and my buddies. Can't remember what I was doing underground here. I think I was just mining for iron and pretty much any resources that were easily available. Also lighting up the place so I could come down here at my leisure and have a little base. As I was down here in the cave, I saw my little axolotl buddy and decided I had to have him. Now we're friends forever. I made some glass bottles. I wanted to figure out these new mud bricks. They were new and therefore I had to have them. I didn't know this yet, but the easiest way to make mud out of dirt is just to put a bunch of dirt underwater and then spam click the bottle. So I meticulously try to turn all of these various blocks into mud and experiment on the best possible method. This takes me all day. Once I figure out a method that kind of works, I pretty much continuously do it until I have an entire chest of this stuff. I want as much as possible because I want those new bricks. I'm not entirely certain how to make them though, and that'll require some more experimentation and possibly Google. I've got quite the mud factory going. I'm not entirely certain where I'm getting all this dirt. I'm pretty certain I'm digging it off the top of my island. This stuff is pretty exhausting to make, but it's worth it in the end, I think. Or at least I hope. After a quick look on Wikipedia, I figure out that wheat is used to make the bricks. So obviously, I'm going to be making some. I want to see what they look like. It'd make me very angry if they were ugly. Turns out, they're a new shade of brown. I'm as excited as your typical Call of Duty bro. My farm is growing, but not nearly fast enough. At this rate, I'll have an entire chest of mud way before I even have a stack of this wheat stuff. Sure enough, it's going exactly as I predicted. The dirt chest is filling up, and so far I barely have any wheat at all. By the end of the night, I have about 1/3 of this chest filled. That's not a good sign, as that wheat farm does not fill up nearly as quickly. It looks like I'll be farming for the next few days. While I'm farming, I go iron mining. I don't know why I need this iron, but I know that it's there and I can grab it. I also decide to grab this copper, take note of that. I don't realize how important it'll be in my build in the future. The wheat farm is starting to produce more reliably. Pretty soon I'll be able to do a full harvest instead of picking the ones that are fully grown and replanting them. I tried to make a bed. I'm not certain how this benefits me in any way, but I don't have enough string. I need to kill more spiders in the caves. After what is I think was 2 non-stop days of constant farming with nothing else in between, I have to show you a chest of mud and a chest of wheat. I did all of this thinking it would be satisfying for YouTube, and honestly it really wasn't. Honestly, the most satisfying part of this whole thing was crafting them all into bricks and seeing my hard work pay off. I don't know it at this time, but this is not nearly enough to surround the entire island. Honestly, I do like these mud bricks against the mycelium. It was pretty hard to find anything that could go with purples, and muddy brown is about the only thing I could think of. Now that the entire island is mostly mob-proof, I do have a couple of areas that are kind of problematic. I'm focusing on something else. I think I should it's time I build my house, and I'm not entirely certain what materials I'm going to construct it out of. I decided to give these savanna trees a chance. I'm not a big fan of their redwood, but maybe in an entire structure it wouldn't be so off-putting. I planted them in a grid system with 2 blocks in between in the hopes that they'd be easier to cut down. I didn't realize it at this time, but since they always spawn at a weird curve, they usually clip into each other and I'm getting less wood for my individual sapling planted. I started doing the outline of my house. Normally my builds are very OCD symmetrical and typically have numbers between 4, 3, and 5 in between each strut. I'm trying to avoid that here and just put the darn house up. The outline is done, and I'm not 100% certain if I like the logs. They do have a nice tan look, but boy, I'm not a fan of that orange. We'll just see if the still looks right when the entire house is up. Come nightfall, the trees are all grown up, but I don't feel like chopping them down. Moss and granite come to save the day. They really do a good job of blending in with the redwood and making it look like something other than garbage. I plan on making an outer decorative layer of moss and granite and an inner layer of just wood. This is ultimately pointless as nothing is going to attack me here on the mushroom biome. The walls are up and it's actually not looking half bad. I decided some random foliage from the caves would look good, along with some of the dangling roots I harvested from those rooted dirt blocks. I spent a lot of time making this flat roof only to then rip it out and replace it with copper and another flat roof on top with dirt. Mushroom stew is by far the most ultimate OP food item. You can get it infinitely from one cow with no cost, and drink it infinitely for health. Gotta say, that's pretty awesome. As for where I got this leather armor, I'd rather not say. I'm also smelting copper. I think it'll look good in my roof as an accent. I also start smelting bricks. I'm not certain what I'll use them for, probably the flooring. I think it'll look good. I experiment with a brick floor against the orange walls and the weird roof. Honestly, all of these colors are starting to come together as something I can stand to look at. I have some mud bricks from the leftover project of surrounding the entire island and making it drown-proof. I think it'll make a good axolotl farm. I'd like to have my little buddies close by. I've never bred 2 axolotl before, so this was quite the magical little moment for me. Adorable. So there it is, my Minecraft realms. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you have ideas for mega builds, mega challenges, or mega games me and my buddies can play together on this realms. I'd appreciate it. Before I end the video, I just wanted to say you might have seen these tan mushrooms running around. I have no idea where these came from. Apparently they can only spawn as a result of a lightning strike, and I don't remember it striking lightning any time on this island. Apparently it must have happened off camera and out of my vision. Probably while I was underground. But, mysterious mushrooms aside, for now I'm going to be saying bye bye.